Hi everyone, welcome to the channel dedicated to sharing the profound insights and wisdom of Andromedan Contactee Alex Collier. If you're new here, you're in for a journey that expands your mind and consciousness, bringing you closer to understanding the messages from the fifth density Andromedan extraterrestrials. For those returning, we're grateful for your continued support. Before we dive into today's enlightening content, we have a small favor to ask. If you find value in the knowledge shared in this video, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to our channel, and clicking the bell icon so you never miss an update. Your engagement helps us amplify Alex Collier's message, allowing us to reach a larger audience with these vital messages. We'd also love to hear from you, so please engage with the comments below. Whether it's a question, your thoughts, or even just an emoji for the sake of engagement, every comment counts. We read every single comment, and your feedback is incredibly valuable to us, as it all contributes to our mission of expanding this community. So please don't hesitate to leave your thoughts below. Additionally, if you'd like to support us further, consider giving a super thanks tip by clicking the heart with the $sign. This small gesture allows us to continue bringing you more of Alex's messages, unfiltered and directly from his lifelong experiences with the Andromedans. Today's video includes a compilation of several of the many important questions Alex Collier has received over the past few years, so please sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video.
The James Webb Telescope has recently revealed that our universe could be over 27 billion years old. Have the A's ever given the approximate age of our universe?
In our linear way of counting, it's 21 trillion years. That's what they say, 21 trillion years. Try to wrap your head around that number. We have had civilizations that existed in our universe, and I can't give you a specific dimension they were on, but they have literally graduated out of our universe and moved into another universe that has higher levels of frequency. Their consciousness is so high that no specific race in this universe could even relate to them. So you see, people talk about our galaxy as the universe, and it's not. They constantly make this mistake. When they refer to our solar system, they refer to it as the galaxy. It is not. Our solar system is one of billions in our galaxy. And our galaxy is one of trillions of galaxies in our known universe. And we're just talking about third dimension. Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. They're all different. They're all bigger, more expansive than what we see on third density, that contain more life, more opportunities, more different types of life. It's when you grasp the enormity of all that is, it's nothing short of absolute gobsmacked profound. It's almost impossible to actually explain or express, at least with the language that we use. You know, half the stuff that we're told is just absolute bullshit by NASA, and they don't know. You know, how do you spot a black hole 500 light years from here. You know? And they cling to a belief system that light travels, you know, at such and such a speed. And that's not true either. That has been disproven over and over and over again. But they don't share that information with the public. They don't share the information that most of the sciences they've been teaching us for the last 150 years has already been disproven. No. They keep us in the box. Why? Because that's the money. The money says you keep them in the box. Okay? And they want the fucking money. That's all they want. So they keep us in the box so they get their money. Instead of telling us the truth. That's why the system has to come down. It has to be burned to the ground so we can be free to know what truly is. Because they never, ever, ever would have told us the truth. Ever. Just think about that. Just think about that. When you want to fight the change that's coming, just think about the fact that they never, ever, ever wanted to tell us the truth. They wanted to keep us in the box forever.
You mentioned, says June, that Earth is an extremely rare E-type planet. What is unique about Earth's makeup that makes it rare? Is it our oxygenated atmosphere? And if so, does that mean that all other planets inhabited by man species are also rare, like those in the Pleiades, or is it something more than that? Thank you, Alex and team, for your hard work and commitment to humanity.
Thank you, June. It's more than that. Our ecosystem, there are planets that humans could migrate to, but they would never have the ecosystem and the life, the diversity of life. They could never sustain anything like that, like we do here, without very, very significant change, alteration, or manipulation. Earth is just unique. And it's my understanding, according to the A's, that in our particular galaxy, there are only 8 planets virtually identical to this. I don't know where they are. So if that's the next question, if I knew, I would have told you 30 years ago or 25 years ago. But I'm sure Solar Warden knows. I'm sure that they've already had those discussions and they may have already been there to look for them themselves. To study and look at the idea of, in the future, potential colonization of these worlds. But it's the life here, the diversity of life. It's remarkable, the plant life. It's remarkable, the insect life, the crustaceans, it's so diverse. And what's amazing about it is how they're all in sync with each other. You know, the trees, how in sync they are not only with the earth and the weather, but with humanity, with birds, bird song. You know, bird song, when birds begin to sing early in the morning, their bird song is telling the trees that it's okay to wake up. I mean, there is a synchronicity, there is a harmonization, a holistic relationship of virtually everything on this planet living with each other. The only hiccup has been humanity. We've been a hiccup because we were told to detach ourselves from nature. We were taught to detach ourselves from each other. We have been taught that we were meant to rule over all things, and therefore we had the right to pick and choose what we didn't like and to destroy it, not realizing that we were breaking our bond with nature. That doesn't mean you just, nonchalantly walk up to a grizzly bear and say, give it a hug, I love you, or a bison in Yellowstone. That's not what this means. You have to give these animals respect because they're wild. They live in the wild. But it doesn't mean that you have to make them extinct. When it's their time to go, the earth herself will make those decisions because she has in the past. She does it all by herself. What we don't want is that to be us, because we can't get along with the rest of nature. So again, these are all things we're going to have to relearn about our relationship with the land, with Earth, with nature. It's remarkable. It's remarkable.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying today's video. Want to stay up to date with all the latest news from Alex Collier? Don't miss out. Sign up for his free email newsletter at alexcollier.news and be the first to know about his live webinars, new revelations, and exclusive insights. It's quick and easy, and you'll never miss an important update. Just click the link in the description or head to alexcollier.news to sign up now. And now back to our regular scheduled content.
Dear Alex, can you speak more about your experiences with communicating telepathically with the A's? Do you, quote, hear the variations in tone and pitch of one spoken word in your mind, or do you hear the messages in your voice? Or maybe it's a neutral voice with no discerning characteristics. How do we tell if we're authentically communicating with an ET or other entry? Thank you for being such a grounded and well-humored guiding light for our little band of misfits.
Amy, I'm proud to be one of damn misfits. I is. I've addressed this just a few weeks ago, I think. Didn't I, JP? Talking about the telepathy?
A little bit, but I think,
But
well,
okay,
I'll
try to very condense this down. Theseus was when Theseus would communicate telepathically, it was a voice that was very, very difficult to even describe. And it took me a while to figure it out, to actually hear his pronunciations. Because his telepathic communication was so strong that I was stuck watching the visuals of the concepts that he was talking about. Now, see, I could say a sentence to you, I love to cook. And that's what you would hear, I love to cook. But when you're talking with somebody who's telepathic, you don't get just the words, I love to cook. What you get is an entire history of the things that they eat, and they know how to cook. And you get all that at the same time, they're just saying, I love to cook. And it can be absolutely overwhelming because you're looking at all these pictures of things that they cook and they eat, and you're not hearing the words because your focus is just on the visual. of what you're seeing in your head. And when it's in your head, it's like a movie, boom, 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 boom. And it's moving so quickly, and you don't want to miss any of it because it's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Mornay has learned to speak. And it's interesting that his telepathic communication was very, very similar to Phaseus's in the beginning. Now, when he telepathically communicates and it isn't verbal, it's in his voice. It's in his verbal voice. That's what I hear, so I always know it's him. His voice is incredibly unique. He's somewhere between Sam Elliott and who's the guy that played Darth Vader? The voice.
Oh. You got me.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Darth Vader. What's that, James? He knows all this.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. Mornay's voice is somewhere between Sam Elliott and James Earl Jones. Okay? Or James, Mr. Jones, whatever. Okay? That's his voice is somewhere in the middle there. Very unique. But what's interesting is that when they and I got more of this from Mornay. You know, the communications changed, the openness changed when Phaseus crossed over in September of 98, or October, November of 98, when they told me that he had crossed over. I mean, he was 4,300 years old, you know, and you knew he was done. He was ready for the next adventure. He was awesome, though. He was awesome. I miss him. When Mornay continued to have contact with me, he was no longer the student. He became the mentor. And his demeanor changed very much so. He became much more open, much more expressive. He showed a lot more of his authenticity because he was mimicking Phaseus. Because I guess that's what they do, right? So what's really interesting about Mornay's telepathic communication is you have the same scenario, you see the voice, and you also get the visuals. But his visuals are very, very they're more expressive. They're more familiar. They show a lot more life, a lot more color, a lot more energy, a lot more emotion. You know, and he will share things. And I'm not going to go into this, but he would share things about his children and the adopted children that belong to his brother. And you know, he took over the mentorship of his brother's children when his brother passed away in an accident. So, and when he talks about them, there would be these waves of color and scenes of things that were just absolutely remarkable. And, you know, the only thing that I have ever seen down here that even comes close to the beautiful landscapes and things that he shows and interactions between people when he talked about his children is in that movie with Robin Williams, What Dreams May Come, I think is the title of it.
Yeah, beautiful.
What is it?
That's the film. What dreams may come.
it's
It
like
was
that
all
where
like a impressionist
he
painting.
goes to that place, where he's safe, and it's like that, and you're absolutely captivated, and you're drawn into that existence because it's all holographic. The mind itself is holographic, and he's communicating all of that holographically because they're holographic into my mind, and I'm there. It. There are times I have stopped and I've turned around and I'm still in the scene. Physically, I turn around and in my head I am still in the scene that he is projecting as he's describing events regarding his own children. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. And there just aren't enough words here. There just aren't enough words to explain some of the things that I've seen. And the emotional component to it can be totally overwhelming. You're transported into another place, and yet you're not. You're here, or I'm on the deck of his scout ship, and yet I'm there. I'm there, reliving his experience as he lived it. With the visuals, the emotion, the smells, all of it. It's like I was there when it originally happened, because it's all being projected holographically out of his head into mine. It's way beyond the virtual reality tech we have here. Way beyond it. You don't need any of that crap. It's really extraordinary. Really extraordinary. And you don't forget it. I mean, just talking about it now brings up the frequency of it again. And, I haven't gone there in a while because it's a place I want to be. Place I want to be. I was talking to James and JP before we started today, and, I made the comment, if I knew everything, I would have figured out a way to get there already, I'd have figured that out. But, I haven't, because this is the mission. This is what it is. And, like all of you, I've got to see this through. As tired as it can be, as challenging as it can be. And it is. But that's where I go when I feel like I'm losing hope, is I go there. I know that's on the other side. I know that that's on the other side, and all of humanity, or most of humanity, will get there, sooner than later. Yeah.
It has been said that the giant underground in Florida, identified as Ningishzida, is an avatar, and the soul of Thoth, Ningishzida, entered the body last year during GSIC. Oh, that conference you go to. Are we humans also inhabiting avatars in that sense, that our souls live in some other plane and enter the avatar body equals fetus in the womb?
Yes. It's very similar. It's very similar. Some of you fell from 6th or 7th density right into a 3rd density body, and have found it very, very difficult to cope, especially when you were young. Because you went from a place that was magical, for lack of a better word, and you fell into literally a bowl of Jello. A bowl of Jello. And you're like, what the hell is this? Can't move, everything's so slow, yada, yada, yada. So you adapt, you figure it out, and you learn. Others have walked in. They had an agreement. The individual who was born into the body had a near-death experience. They leave, someone else comes in. Others have their bodies put in stasis. Now, I do not know for a fact that it is Thoth. If it is Thoth, he was always very kind to humanity. And by all recollections, he was an excellent and honored mentor of humanity. He's responsible for the construction of Machu Picchu, by the way, when it was at sea level. So, the world changes, and it is changing. That's why it's important to be in the moment. It's not a time to be complacent. Really time to pay attention to what's going on around you, around ourselves. Because the world is changing, you're changing. And because you're changing, your loved ones, those that are closest to you, they're going to feel the change, and they're going to experience the change and have to adjust to your change or change themselves to be in the same frequency, to be in alignment. So that's why it's really important to be in the moment and also be patient with people. This is not an easy process, especially for somebody who's just waking up. You know, it's easy to understand that they feel like the rug is being pulled right out from underneath them, because they've spent all these years thinking they're this type of person, only to find out that all that was a projection, a lie, and who they really are is someone quite different, at least on a soul level. And that takes patience and compassion. And you have to be calm and patient with them as you explain this process to them and you share your experience so they don't think they're losing their minds. You know? And if you're a parent, you're gonna experience this. Or you already are. And it's a challenge. It really, really is, especially when you spent a lifetime having to tell them, don't do this, don't do that, this is what you need to do, da-da-da-da-da, 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 with one finger in an ear so it doesn't go out the other side immediately. You know, after experiencing that for decades, sometimes we don't have the patience when they become young adults. But inside of what's all the things that are going on and all the changes, it's most important now. Be calm, to be reserved, and to explain to them to the best of your ability what it is you know. And whatever you don't know, you do your best to point them in the direction of how they can find out. And then it's up to them to do the work. Okay, now they're responsible to find out what it's about. They can't come back to you. It's on them to unconditionally be responsible for oneself. It's all part of the process. Okay? Because the youngins are inheriting everything. So we have to do the best we can to get them ready for it, to understand what's going on. I do not know how that's going to turn out. I do not. But we do the best we can, and that's all we can do.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you found it insightful, please like the video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss out on future updates. If you have any questions relating to today's video, please also leave them below. We read all the comments and take on board what our viewers have to say about Alex Collier's work. Remember, your support helps Alex Collier's knowledge and the messages from the Andromedans reach more people. If you'd like to support the channel even more, you can give us a super thanks tip by clicking the heart icon with a $sign. It really helps our team bring you more content. Also, be sure to visit alexcollier.org to sign up for our regular email newsletter. It's the best way to stay updated with the latest news, exclusive content, and upcoming live webinars. For the latest insights from Alex Collier, check out alexcollier.live. And if you want to explore over 250 past webinars, head over to alexcollier.tv. Thank you for being a part of this journey and supporting Alex Collier's work. We couldn't do this without you, and we're genuinely grateful for your support. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the vast mysteries of our universe. If you would like to see the Andromedan Contactee Alex Collier live via video stream, we hold a live online seminar every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. For more information on upcoming live webinars, please visit alexcollier.org.